Okay, today's ride is the Umatilla Rim. Or maybe it's a preview of the next ride, but what I want to talk about today is the Umatilla Rim. So we've done the trail on the rim from the Andes Prairie all the way to the pond. But if you did that first 10 miles of the trail, you haven't done the last 7. And the last 7 is what I like to call the lost 7, because it's a little more challenging. You know, the first 10 miles you can ride 10 out, ride 10 back. You can ride 10 out, you can take the road back. But if you drop in that hole and make that commitment for the last 7, you're going to hit the best downhill on the whole trail system, because as you know from riding the Umatilla Rim, it's primarily 1,000 feet out, 1,000 feet back. No spectacular downhills, no terrible climbs, just a good trail ride. But to hit that really sweet downhill, you got to start at the pond and jump into that last 7-mile route. And that's where you end up with about a 350-foot drop into the bottom. And then of course you're committed to either riding the drop back up and going back out, which is a pretty significant climb, or you ride the 7 miles out to the end of the wilderness. There is an old bomber crash out there. If you know where it's at, you can find that. That's pretty cool. But you hit that end of that trail, that 7-mile ride. It's a lot like the first 10 that you went out, with the exception of the really spectacular downhill. And then you can hit the paved road and then ride back to the Andes Prairie where you started from. So all said, you're going to end up with about 25, 26 miles of riding, a little over 3,000 feet of climbing. But I do recommend you check it out. So watch the video. If you got some questions, hit me up on that. And then of course, this spectacular view behind me, the Umatilla Gap Trail, we'll get into that one next. So have a great day and enjoy riding. Here we go. The other 7 of the Umatilla Rim, or I like to call the lost 7. It starts out with a huge commitment of a drop-in downhill. Once you're in, you're in. I'm the only one. about 3 miles in on what I call the lost 7. That would be the other 7 miles of the Umatilla Rim that most people don't like to ride because of the commitment to getting out here and then having to come back in. I can tell you it's probably a little better ride than the first 10. It's kind of fun, actually. A lot more exposure for sure, so you're not as in the canopy as much. So you got some nice sight lines out here, some nice trail. So we'll see what the next 4 miles brings. Did run into some hunters. Wanted to know if I saw some track, and I did. I've seen some elk track out here, some fresh elk track. And of course they had to show me their picture of a fresh Bigfoot track. So those of you who know me know what I think about the legend of the big scary hairy man in the woods. Anyway, it's kind of cool to meet those guys and see their photo that they took of the big Bigfoot track. And, I'm sure that somebody might have been up here setting them up on that one. Anyway, it was kind of fun. Okay, transitioned off of the Umatilla Rim onto the Buck Creek Trail, which is still the tail end of the Umatilla Rim. It does say no motorized vehicles, so the trail's a little more rugged due to the absence of motorcycles, but it's still pretty well defined. A little bit of a climb out to get to the top, but other than that, it's still a good trail. Still having fun, getting a little tired. Still haven't seen Bigfoot yet. Let's see what happens. Well, that was the end of the lost 7. 7 miles out from 9 Mile Pond. Now it's about a 7-mile road ride back to Andes Prairie. Still got about another 800 feet of climbing, but it definitely more forgiving than trail. So my thoughts on that ride: definitely worth it. You get to the Buck Mountain Trail, and as I said, it gets a little more rugged. So, you know, but still, you know, it's part of the thing. If you come up here and do the Umatilla Rim, you can do the 10 miles to the pond, 3 miles back, 10 miles out, 10 miles back. You can do 17 miles out, and then 7 miles back, or 17 out, 17 back. That'd be a pretty big ride, but which I'm not going to do today. One thing about this ride, you want to make sure that don't get it in your head about segments and trying to kill it and get faster than the last time you were. This isn't one of those trail rides. Today is a ride just to go out and enjoy, have a good time, see some scenery, take some time, and just have a great day, because that's what this ride's all about. That's why we train, that's why we race, that's why we do all the stuff that we do, so we can come out on a day like today and enjoy a nice long trail ride and not be smoked by it. Think of the David Clayton Thomas Blood, Sweat and Tears song. come down. When I think of it in reverse, in mountain biking, it's always what goes down, you gotta climb back out. So, it's a lot of fun cruising down a gravel road, but knowing it ain't gonna be this way all the way back to Andes for dang sure.